This video is aimed at people who are actively trying to get better at Overwatch, but still seem to be stuck in bronze, silver, or gold. Probably less so gold, you'll see why later. Anyway, so this is a concept that I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about in the typical how to rank up guides, and with good reason I suppose. Most of those guides are more focused on self-improvement to climb and less focused on team play, which makes sense because most people who are watching them aren't high ranked, and I would guess they don't really want to be. They'd be more than fine with just getting to plat, and working on your mechanics along with a basic understanding of hero matchups can get you there. However, if you're the more casual player who's watching guides and GMs to improve, but you don't have the mechanical skill of someone a rank or two above your current rating, this concept may be helpful for you, and is what I'm going to call playing too smart. This is something that I've noticed while coaching friends and playing with people in low-rank lobbies. Essentially what happens is you've been watching some educational content, you hop into quick play to test out your new knowledge, and you end up positioning too well. And I hear you saying, how is that a problem? Well, let me show you. Let's say we're defending Blizzard World in the bottom of bronze.
So we're in copper.
What's the most likely starting position for your team of Rein, Sojourn, Ashe, Mercy, and Moira? Well, we can hope to whatever god you believe in that they aren't going to start out here, but most likely they're just going to pile in right at the choke. Maybe around the statue, but let's say you're the Ashe player who's just come off an hour-long binge of educational positioning guides. You know better than these lowly bronzes, so you're going to play up here, where the smart mid to long-range DPS plays. Then the gates open, the enemy team comes out, and meets your Rein, who's just standing at the choke with his shield up while your Sojourn fires through it. Mercy's healing the Rein, who isn't taking any damage yet. Moira's doing the same while throwing damage orbs on cooldown. All of this is happening, and where are you? You're up here, taking occasional shots at whoever happens to wander into your LOS. You may start to realize that maybe you'd be more effective if you were down with your team. Hey, so in hindsight, this example is a little oversimplified and therefore kind of exaggerated, but the final point that I get to later on still stands. And I have actually seen this happen on this map, but I just wanted to acknowledge that I am simplifying the situation. Okay, moving on. But playing down there is worse, right? This is what I mean by playing too smart. Yes, you are technically correct. Playing down there is generally worse. However, this is bronze. You're the only person on your team who knows that. So instead of complaining about how their positioning is bad, why don't you get in there and help them out? Because what you're essentially doing by not being in range to be effective is making your team fight a 4v5. So when the tipping point is hit, your Rein shield breaks and he throws a fire strike before panic charging to the back wall when he realizes he's taking damage. He's gonna die and the enemy is finally gonna be in your effective range as they're mowing down the other three members of your team. Whereas, if you just drop the I know better ego and play down here, you could have been contributing. You might even have some kills on the board. You could be hitting fat dynamites on cooldown. You might have Bob up by the time Rein goes on his ill-fated death charge, if you can win a couple team fights just from you and Sojourn poking through the shield. Basically what I'm getting at here is that you should still play smart, like don't be playing up here if you're on Ashe, that'd be really dumb, no matter what your team's doing. But don't stay in a smart position if it becomes clear that the rest of your team isn't going to take a fight in your effective range. Now if your team backs up to hold more around and behind the statue, then sure, you can probably play up here and still be effective because the enemy is going to be able to get into your LOS without running over your team first. There's a saying, somewhat tangential, typically used in like traffic safety bulletins, that's basically, you can be 100% correct, but it doesn't matter if you're dead. Like if you had the right of way to use the crosswalk, for example, but you didn't look both ways, so somebody plows into you. Sure, your next of kin will have every right to sue that guy, but you'll still be dead. So applying that to Overwatch, you could be in the safest position possible, playing technically flawless. But it doesn't matter if you end up 1v5 on the point because your team just gets melted first fight and you're playing Ashe. Why are you back here? You're not Widowmaker. Anyway, this is just a concept that I started to notice, so I wanted to make a video about it. Am I right or am I stupid? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But if you are the possibly very niche audience of casual players trying to get a bit better, I hope this video helps you improve and start to see the macro view of the game. Good luck in your games. See you next time.